Hey y'all, it's the end of May and it's time to do a look back. I have been a year and 4 months away from the place where I formed my core memories. Um, and when I settled down, I really just didn't say much of anything to anybody. Um, but this reflection really brings to light that I am finally out of reach um, in regards to my most dangerous narcissistic abuser, and that would be my mom. Um, she it's hard to like dive into it, but she just used her influence for my whole life to just kind of mess with me, just fuck with me. Like I think about sometimes the time where I was like maybe in my early 20s and I was kind of at that stage where it was like time to get off the phone plan. So I went to her and I told her like I'm ready to take on that bill because I was already using my loans to pay for my housing. Oh no, I was in my early 20s, so I was paying for um, my grad school housing. And I was like, okay, it's time for me to take on the rest of my financial burden. And she was like, no, I want to do this for you. And I was like, really? I was actually so surprised. And I was surprised because she's always driven me to, kind of make sure I take my own burden on because it was kind of a favor to me that she even showed up as a caretaker, even though I was a child. But I'm glad I've gotten perspective. I'm so happy about the effects distance has had, which includes, but is not limited to, not having fake people smiling in my face, pretending to love me. I had to let go of everyone all at once because, of course, again, my most dangerous abuser being my mom, and me not really acknowledging the true depth and kind of like fun that she had with messing with me and how deeply she was integrated into my life and my relationships, right? Like, it took me a while to fully understand that and to accept that I won't haven't had um, a safe and loving mother. Um, I could only do that in this safety, in this place that checks to see if the accusation is true, and doesn't just do things. People of high office and influence don't just do whatever. Oh yeah, let's go arrest this guy. The warrant came in. Is there an observation period? Like, are you sure that this person's a criminal? I'm just gonna do it because the command came. Oh, can't we check? And that's just the kind of person that my mom is. That's the way that she decided to treat me. Um, a few months, I would say, after I moved away from Dallas, where I was living for 2 years while I was teaching, a friend who I had made there, someone that I had come to like love and cherish as a friend, she and her father survived bullets literally tearing through their roof. Three of them, if I remember correctly. Just while they were home, just pow, 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 bullets through their roof. What? They called the police. Her father being a veteran and everything. The police told them there were some people across the lake who were shooting their guns upwards and having a good old time. And it just was an unlucky passing of poorly placed bullet landing. Okay, the reason I'm making these faces is because I taught algebra-based physics to high school students. And that includes the unit on projectiles launched from a single point. They have a parabolic path. When they reach the top of their path, their velocity is 0 meters per second. They get to the bottom of the parabola with an acceleration of negative 9.82 meters per second squared. That's from gravity. That cannot generate enough force to penetrate a roof. So I hear this story, and of course I'm wondering, how could this come to be? And it's either one of two things. Either her dad, again being a veteran and everything, might have actually been somebody powers that be wanted. Or it's my mom. She got a better understanding of who I called loved one. And it is well within the realm of possibility that she tried to hurt her just to invoke heartbreak in me. Because that's the kind of just fucking with me she would do. Break me down emotionally, and I'll be easy to conquer in every other way, and I'll just be this puppet that she can do whatever she wants with. Oh, God. I'm so grateful. I'm so blessed to be on this side, not enduring, surviving. I survived malignant narcissistic abuse. Thank you, God. Would not be possible without God. Word on the spiritual block, if you know what I mean, is that she put in paperwork, she filed paperwork because she is a very influential member of the Westchester County Department of Human Resources. And she used her positionality to file paperwork that I'm dead, saying that I am deceased. And when this paperwork was filed, and of course an investigation was opened up to see who was using my bank accounts, because if she's dead, who's this depositing money? Why are you depositing money if you're a thief? But who's this depositing money into her accounts? Oh, wait, it's her. How did that come to pass? So she told them, and they believed, that she was just so distraught. So sad that I had suddenly disappeared. My youngest daughter has just left without a word. How could she betray me like this? I was so sad that I typed her name when I meant a different Cheyenne Williams. All this time away from her has given me the opportunity to start being myself and not being so hostile about it. I learned how to ask for help. I really stuck to my guns too because of course I picked up some wicked hyper independentness surviving that lady. Um, and when I finally came to terms with the fact that she would always keep messing with me as long as she could and that I needed help, um, I took my little piece of evidence and I went to a police station and I sat for 3 hours in a room that smelled mildly of human piss, and that had a fierce echo. I mean, like something outstanding, quite the echo. It made me feel, it added like a layer of vulnerability to going to asking for help because it's like, wow, man, you and everyone else in this room can hear exactly what I'm saying. Okay, here we go. And I also reined in my anger because the man at the front desk who was, taking people's complaints, when I explained to him that I am under the impression that I have someone of government office harassing me and trying to endanger me, that man said, well, what do you want us to do about it? Yo. Yo. I I turned on my people pleaser so fast. Oh my god. Cuz I knew yelling at him was not going to help me, right? And the first thing that came to mind when those words left his lips was, "Bitch, what do you mean? Look at where we are. Hello, I'm coming to you because you are operating the front desk of the police station. Isn't this where you go to get help? There's someone stronger messing with me, and you hit me with, well, what do you want us to do about it? What? Oh no. I just took a deep breath and I kind of turned on airplane mode, or pilot mode. That's what it's called. Pilot mode. I don't know. I'll tell you what. I'll see if we can get an officer to take your complaint, but it could be 30 minutes, it could be 3 hours, you know. So, do you want to just call back or something? Leave call back. Yo, this lady's got anyways, I did it. I waited the time period and I submitted my complaint, and that was about 7 weeks ago. So, you know, whatever happens, happens. I did my best and I asked for help. Anyways, allowing myself to be myself, taking care of me the way I think and wish a mother should have. I discovered my sexuality and it explains so much. So, I'm asexual, and the thing that confused me the most about my sexual identity is that I have a friend who I grew up with. She's asexual, but she didn't really like doing the fucking. Whereas I certainly derived enjoyment out of it. I understand why some people get so obsessed, because it's quite euphoric. And even though I've been a chronic monogamist, going from one long-term relationship to the next, I might not have had a lot of partners, but when I was with who I was with, we were certainly active. And that made it hard for me to take on this role of this understanding that I'm asexual because, you know, of that. I looked at the definition again and it said a general lack of attraction. And that made me feel better. I was like, oh, it's attraction. Because I've gone a year and a half now without, the intercourse. And I have no desire to like change that. Um, I'm perfectly fine with that because I'm allowed to be with someone who I'm attracted to. Even though I don't feel attraction very often, it's okay for me to wait until I meet someone who I actually like, instead of, the settling. Oh, I'm not really attracted to this person, but at least, they spoke to me like I'm a human being. The first things out of their mouths was an attempt to see if I would consent to letting them penetrate me. Jeez. Um, I still have so much to reflect on. I did not choose the greatest partners. I certainly settled for lack of physical abuse and just kind of sat for way, way, way too long in mental and emotional abuse. I'm glad that my eyes are open to that now. I still am working on my hostility towards men. When I see a guy staring at me for too long, first of all, I notice even walking past, like, if I have to walk past a group of 2 or more men, I kind of notice myself getting a little tense. And if I see a man staring at me and he, like, especially if he makes any kind of gestures to, like, adjusting his pants or, like, gestures towards that area, I I'm just like, okay, so he's checking me out. I just start problem solving and assessing. Okay, so that guy, he seems like he is gonna try to figure out how he can do. You convince me to participate in some fantasy he's conjuring up in his head right now. How do I avoid? Because I'm not doing that. I'm just not. I'm not. I have 2 internet crushes, and I think I've felt attracted to 2 other people I've met. The reflection had to be something serious when that pair of 2 doesn't include my ex-husband. Yeah, I used to be married. Oh, man. Huh. And I was just going along with trying to, complete my checklist. Gotta get the check, the husband, and the job, and the house, and the income. Check, check, check. Ugh. I never felt safe enough to have kids. And I finally realized after 3 decades that if I don't feel safe enough to have kids, then I should not be here. So this reflection keeps coming back to how happy I am that I left. And I am. I'm very proud of myself. So anyways, back to my asexuality. I'm not settling and having sex with just anybody because I think it's super euphoric. I'm allowed to have sex with people who make me feel safe, make me feel seen, and who I'm attracted to. Wow. But I still am trying to figure out what this means for my self-expression, especially when like I I don't know, I want to I like to dress femininely. Um, you know, the bodycon dresses, crop tops, especially when it's hot. I love wearing heels. I love like the looks. And that's really dangerous, first of all. But then to be asexual on top of that kind of adds another layer because it's like I could see how it could be very deceiving. Like, wait, if you're not attracted to anybody, why are you dressing so sexy? Um, and I'm dressing sexy because I think it's a phenomenal look. Like, it's just, it's it's dangerous though. Every time I go out, and I'm, in particular when I'm in feminine form, like the number of stalkers, people who will just tap into my phone, like, who's this? Who's this? Who is she? Where's she going? What's the gossip? What's the tea? I never seen her before. Who's this? And they'll dig all up in my life. And again, having the mother that I did, with all those nasty people who came towards me pretending to love me, there was a pretty decent period of time where they would find slander, just lies saying that I'm a shameless homewrecker. Not me, not I. I mind my business. And that's been hard and a big contributor to a lot of my financial turbulence. Still, I don't feel like broken is a word that describes how I feel right now. I am certainly coming out of a period of just straight up heartbreak. I mean, goodness. But I made stuff. Look. I used to play cards with my grandma when I was a kid. And then I got put onto Mahjong. And I was like, let's combine them. So I made these. Yay. Yay. I got my goodies here, ready for presentation. I really made sure that I had creative outlets because, baby, if I wasn't making something, doing something, hiking something, oh my gosh, I would just be drowning in hours and hours and hours of crying and sorrow. And it's not that it's not justified, it's just that it hurts so much. You ever cried for hours? It's so heavy on your chest. Goodness. But yeah, I made sorry for the shifts in topic. I made a bunch of jewelry. I made that card deck set. I wrote a series of short stories. I got up to 3. I'm really proud of my website. And I like the way that I'm not just caving to the consequences of living in a surveillance state, which is again another we've gone and took another turn. But like when I talk about going out dressed femininely and I come back home and I just know there's people like who have tapped into my phone, my device is acting funny, hearing people outside who I've never seen before. I just I just know that there's some part of living in a surveillance state that strips me of my privacy in a way that's just not acceptable, you know? Like having people who I kind of would hate if I met you in person, right? Like, oh my god, I would not let you watch me shower if I knew you. And you kind of suck. Why do you get access to me? Um, you don't I don't have to just try to numb myself to it. I can try to do things about that. And that's what inspired my little home improvement project, but it's a video for another day. Um, yeah, my jewelry, my cards, my LLC, my temporary tattoos, um, the way that I've learned to ask for help, and the way that I stopped pretending like people around me weren't as dangerous as they actually were, just because I wanted so badly for them to love me the way I deserve to be. So I think I'm in a good place in a lot of ways at the end of May 2026. And I hope to turn things around financially for sure in the oncoming months. If you're still here, thank you for watching. Appreciate you tuning in to my reflection. And I'll try to answer any questions and curiosities in the comment section. I'm mostly a YouTube shorts girly, but apparently I had a lot to say. So, welcome to one of my first videos on my personal channel. Shout out to my 5 subscribers. Please hit the subscribe button and come along with me for this journey as I rebuild my life.